Hey traders, Marcello here, founder of the Day Trading Academy. Today we're going to be talking about, is Bitcoin a good investment? We're here in Costa Rica. We're here for an entire week. We're actually celebrating the birthday of one of our traders. He's one of the traders that we have in our trading center down in Colombia. This is the reason why I like to be able to invest in the financial markets, because it's not really about making money or making $1 million. It's really about being able to have your financial freedom, right? And being able to travel around the world. We have internet here. I can, maybe do a pan for you guys so you can see the whole hotel. It's absolutely beautiful. Some of the comments that I'm going to make about Bitcoin is going to anger some people, okay? Because I have a very different perspective than what I think most people have on the digital currency. I think many people are investing in Bitcoin and they think that it's a way to circumvent taxes, circumvent reporting, circumvent a lot of things. And I don't think that people have completely thought this through, because on one hand you have the guys that say no, it'll never work, this and that, and then on the other hand, on the other extreme, you have guys that are saying that it's the way that we're going to be able to decentralize control. The government can't do anything about it, and it's the future of the way things are going to work. I agree with parts of both topics, and I also disagree with some as well. The first thing that I think we should look at is the volatility in Bitcoin. I know that it was the best performing currency, and it was reported by the news. I'm sure you guys heard. One of the reasons I wanted to actually record this video is because the Bitcoin ETF that just came out was actually denied by the exchange, so they weren't permitted to create their ETF. And a lot of people are putting a lot of money and their savings, or only accepting payments in Bitcoin. And I do agree that Bitcoin has fundamentally, and all cryptocurrencies, has fundamentally changed the way that we do business, especially in the financial world. There's a lot of banks now that are using the technology. There's very prominent, let's say, investors, people who have called the market right in the past, that talk about how the government is going to use that technology to create their own digital currency. And one of the things I think we should really consider, and one of the things I think that we should really understand and really kind of get down to it, do we really believe that the country is going to allow that our currency system is going to be decentralized? The government obviously always likes to control things. The government always likes to make sure that they control the populations, right? Gotta pay your taxes. Taxes keep going up. Inflation, great for governments, bad for consumers. Many people don't know that we have already had 3 central banks in the history of the United States. The first 2 failed. The third one is the one that we have right now. So it's important to understand all these things, in my opinion, to be able to talk about whether Bitcoin is a good investment or not. Obviously, you can trade Bitcoin. We day trade. I've been day trading for 15 years now. I have not gotten into trading Bitcoin at all, because I feel that the best markets are still things like futures, where you get very high leverage on very little money. There's a trader that I know who makes more money trading $25,000 accounts on futures than $1 million accounts in stocks. So if you're going to consider putting your money in Bitcoin, I personally would not, because I don't think that part of the technology is safe. Now, hold on there, because I know some of you guys are gritting your teeth. It's foolproof, it's decentralized, etc., etc. I agree 100% that the technology behind Bitcoin is almost 100% foolproof, especially since there's the, to explain it in an easy way for you guys that don't understand, they have the cells of people around the world that process transactions. If one cell goes, another cell pops up. as I mentioned, a lot of banks now are using that technology. That blockchain technology is what's going to revolutionize the financial system. But I don't think that cryptocurrencies or digital currencies are actually going to change. I'm very hesitant of the fact, and I think that most people don't realize that the only thing that has to happen is the government of the United States, the government of Europe, and the government of China, literally over 60-70% of the world's economy, just blocks Bitcoin. They say it's illegal, it's for terrorists, right? And you can't use it. Yeah, of course, right now there's car companies, there's department stores, everybody's accepting Bitcoin. But what's going to occur when, like online gambling, for example, when the government just decides it's over? China started to put a crackdown on the currency recently, if you guys want to look that up. The European Union is starting to, let's say, enforce itself on the laws required or the laws that companies have to report for European citizens in terms of profits made from Bitcoin. The United States also has started moving in that direction as well. They've also stated that people who make money with Bitcoin technically do have to report it. With the volatility also that we have in Bitcoin, obviously over the long haul, it'll probably keep going up, especially with the instability. Countries like China, Venezuela, Argentina, I believe Nigeria is another one as well, is very big with the cryptocurrencies because they don't have anything else. And for those people, I think it's a great investment. But I'm not sure that everybody understands the gravity of what the government can do just because they feel like it. Tomorrow or the next financial crisis that we have, because we've had them, Great Depression, the oil crisis, 2009 when Wall Street bailed out a hedge fund. We've had crises over and over and over again. And I don't think that we look at history and understand what happens, that the government always wins. The government, in my opinion, is not going to allow that the control of the currency and what they do to the financial system is going to be taken away. Obviously, you can't block things on the internet, but when legitimate businesses are not allowed to accept Bitcoin anymore just because the government says so, what are you going to do with all the Bitcoins? You're going to change them into Venezuelan bolivars where you have 100,000% inflation every year. You see what I mean? Another thing that I think is very important to understand, and I think has gone underreported, is the fact that some of the Bitcoin exchanges have actually been hacked. So remember that there's a difference here between the blockchain technology and the exchanges themselves. In the last hack that occurred, which was in Hong Kong, overnight, just like in Cyprus, everybody got a haircut. Basically what that means is that if you had $1,000 in Bitcoin, or I believe it was Ethereum, if you had $1,000 of that cryptocurrency in the exchange in Hong Kong, you literally took a haircut by 30% and you only had $700 instead of $1,000. Same thing that happened in Cyprus with the financial system. Same thing that, they were saying, no one's gonna get a haircut, we're not gonna take money away from anybody. And then all of a sudden, from one week into the next, everybody who had more than $100,000 in their account, government took their slice. We're getting to the point now, I believe, where there's so much debt in the world. I mean, the debt under Obama went up by 10 trillion. The debt under Bush was a record as well. I believe it was 5 or 7 trillion. We're getting to the point where we just can't manage all this anymore. And when we get to the point where things are starting to get, let's say, uneasy, right? A lot more people try to take their money outside of the US, they're gonna start with the currency controls. And the only thing they'd have to do is flip a switch. Say, okay, you're not allowed to use Bitcoin anymore. And for those of you that have money in Bitcoin, how are you gonna get the money out? I understand that some of you, in reference to that, may say, well, there's no way that they can do that. Bitcoin will always be around. But there's already companies where technically Bitcoin is illegal. Now, obviously that doesn't matter because of the internet, but I don't believe that we should underestimate the government, because the government always wins, ladies and gentlemen. And as much as I love the idea and I like the idea of having a decentralized financial system, because I always believe that the market is best. The government, the only thing that it does is it adds more problems. I'm sure, you know, going to get your social security number or passport or something, I'm sure you guys have been through the process. It's chaos, it's bureaucratic. So I think it's important to be able to think about those things and understand them, and that's why I don't think Bitcoin is a good investment. I also believe that it may be challenging for many of you, especially some of you that are newer to the whole world of cryptocurrencies, knowing when to invest. If you go back and look at the price of Bitcoin, it surged to a record high, became the best performing currency in the world because of what was going on in China. The Chinese were surging in Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden, when China decided to crack down, it completely collapsed. Then we have the Bitcoin ETF, surged again. After they denied the application to have the Bitcoin ETF, collapsed again. So it's a market that's extremely volatile. It's a market that I don't think that a lot of you newer traders or newer investors are going to be able to handle, unless of course you're going to invest in the long term. And unfortunately, long term, I don't really have the confidence, based on the hacking that has already occurred, that Bitcoin is going to be a solid investment long term. I believe that there's other investments that have standed the test of time. Things like gold, silver, precious metals, you know, rhodium, palladium, uranium, if you guys can get a handle on that, even though it's not really a precious metal. But there are ways to invest in that, by the way. So I think it's important to think about those things, because if you buy Bitcoin, technically, or any cryptocurrency, the hacking that has occurred already shows that they can take it away from you. If you buy gold and silver and you have it in physical form, you bury it in your house, you have it in a vault somewhere, you know, you have Mike, the next door neighbor, guarding it, whatever the case may be, they can't take that away from you. Yeah, of course, there might be a government call, just like FDR had, or, you know, back in the day where everybody legally had to turn in their gold and silver, but nobody knows you're gonna have that gold and silver. Nobody's gonna know where you have it. Another thing to consider is with gold and silver, you can still travel with jewelry, which is not considered something that you have to report, right? Obviously, if you're traveling with the gold coins or silver coins, the blocks of gold and silver, that's going to have to be reported. If they see it, you're gonna have a problem. There's been a lot of smuggling, obviously, in Thailand, India, and Dubai, Iran as well. But I think things like that are a little bit more secure, because when shit really does hit the fan, who knows what the government is going to do? And the only thing the government has to do is flip a switch. And as soon as they flip a switch, all of our money that's invested in things like Bitcoin is gone. There's no way to get that money out. Imagine now US citizens are having so much problems opening up accounts and opening up financial instruments or accounts overseas. Imagine the difficulty that it will be to be able to withdraw that money already when we're having so many problems just opening up a bank account overseas. So over time, what's happening is the governments around the world, specifically the United States, they keep encroaching obviously on our freedoms. They want to know everything about you. Facebook knows what color and what underwear you're wearing. Privacy is gone, right? Privacy is gone. But I really do think that we invest in things that have standed the test of time. Gold and silver, nobody, ever since olden days, recently as well, there's been a surge in gold and silver. A few years ago, the mint in the United States actually ran out of silver. There was no silver to buy. So those are tangible things that you can hold on to. Those are tangible things that somebody can't hack into an exchange and say, well, you have 30% less silver now, you have 30% less gold. So I really think we need to explore some of these topics. I think obviously in this video, some of you are going to get pretty angry. You're not going to agree with me. I think now we live in a society where we can't debate a topic in an intelligent manner, where even though we're on opposite sides of the spectrum, we're not able to listen to the other debate, look at the facts, and then say, okay, this is what the truth is. A lot of what we do now and the reactions I see even on the videos that I make is, you know, everybody's opinion is the right opinion. So I'd encourage you to research this information. I'd encourage you to explore the idea of what I'm introducing to you. I'd explore you to, even though you may believe that Bitcoin is the hottest thing since sliced bread, hottest thing since Justin Bieber, that it's still a good investment, and that's okay. But I've been in the financial markets for 15 years. I've seen a lot over the 15 years, including obviously the crisis, what we're going through now. I've studied a lot of history and economy, because during the next crisis that we receive or that we get into, I want to be one of the people that was able to make a fortune off of it. If you guys look in history, there was more millionaires created in the Great Depression than at any point in the history of the world. Let me repeat that. There was more millionaires created than at any other point in history during the Great Depression. So I believe that even though we're walking into a crisis, we're walking into a recession, that over the long haul we're going to be okay. I just don't know about things like Bitcoin, where the government can just flip a switch and it's over. And I think that the hacks that have already occurred have represented what is capable of happening. And if you're able to invest in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, I think it's important to think about that, because at the end of the day, guys, the only reason why we have money in the bank, or we have stuff in the bank, is because a computer says so. And so I think that over time, the government may even introduce their own digital currency, and they're going to make it easy to have everyone access it. Obviously, I do think also that Bitcoin will keep rising, because of obviously the insecurity, the uncertainty of what's happening in the financial markets. But in terms of an investment perspective right now, even if you look at the price of Bitcoin and silver, I do believe that in the long run, you can make a lot more money with silver than with Bitcoin, especially if you're investing in things like silver miners. Because the silver miners, a lot of them, you can still find them for a few dollars, even a few cents, some of them. And I believe that, well, look for the charts for yourselves, guys. Whenever you see silver go up or silver go down, these miners overreact. You know, they overextend to the reaction of silver. So the multiples of investment that you're going to be able to make with silver is going to be a lot higher than what you can make in Bitcoin, due to the fact that Bitcoin is so high. Obviously, Bitcoin is pretty volatile, but at the moment, I do believe that gold and silver is also very volatile. I prefer silver over gold. I'm making a huge pitch for silver right now, because I believe that due to the fact that it has industrial purposes, things like cell phones, computers, tablets, all kinds of things, we use silver for these things. Solar panels, which has seen a huge boom in recent years. Shout out to Elon Musk, love what he's doing. I think it's something that we should explore. So I would encourage you to, instead of writing troll comments on YouTube and just sharing your opinion or just saying that this is wrong, just explore the idea. I think that we should be open to new ideas. We should be open to different points of view. I know a lot of you out there in the Bitcoin space swear by Bitcoin. I know some people that only accept Bitcoin as a payment. And I do believe that due to the reactions that we've seen in Bitcoin, not only with the volatility, but more importantly with the hacking of the exchanges, it's not as secure as people want you to think it is. The technology behind Bitcoin obviously is very secure. Nobody's going to be able to take down the blockchain. But what's going to happen when the government institutes its own blockchain, right? What's going to happen when financial institutions start instituting their own blockchain? So I think that's something that we should definitely explore, guys. I think I would love to read all your comments. I think I'm going to pay attention to this view or this video here, because I think it's really important to get your feedback, get what you guys think. I'm pretty sure that 90% of your comments are going to be, no, Bitcoin is the shit, nobody's going to be able to take it down, etc., etc. But I would encourage you to take a different viewpoint, or at least just explore the idea. Just do me a favor, look up what happened during the 3 times that the exchanges got hacked, and tell me why that can't happen again. And a hacker can very easily, in a decentralized system with, well, what appears to be not that much security, because these guys have hacked it, right? How are they able to get in? And the problem is, since there's no reporting, since there's no centralized system, right, they can do whatever they want. Because who are they going to report it to? They're going to report it to the United States. Somebody stole my Bitcoin. You see what I mean? So think about that, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm here in Costa Rica. I think I'll show you guys a quick shot of Costa Rica here. Give me 1 second. I'll get the camera. It's absolutely beautiful. Diga hola. Hola. And we have the waterfall right over here. So if you guys are interested in the hotel, it's called Gaia, G-A-I-A Hotel and Reserve near Quepos, Costa Rica. It's about a 3 or 4 hour drive. Obviously here they don't accept Bitcoin, right? So keep that in mind. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna be answering questions probably under the hashtag AskMarcello, M-A-R-C-E-L-L-O. I'll pull all the questions for you guys. I wanted to do a little bit more interaction with you guys since most of you guys have a lot of questions for me. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe.